What up, what up? Welcome to Real Talking Healthy Food. It is your girl. Make sure y'all come in, you like, comment, and subscribe because we are going to make salad dressing and vegan cheese. That's right, your girl coming through with two recipes, but that ain't. This recipe has an acquired taste. I'm going to let you know. If you're not really a fan of sunflowers, then this really isn't for you. But if you don't mind, then you're going to love this. Okay, so for this recipe, you're going to need sunflower seeds, unsweetened almond milk, honey, olive oil. I'm going to use this seasoning, nutritional yeast, roasted garlic and herb, garlic, and some dill for the ranch flavor. Now, this isn't a ranch dressing video, which I should make that soon, but this is just a dressing that I made up that turned out to be really great, okay? Now, all you're going to do is add your sunflower seeds to the almond milk, just like this. Then you're going to add some honey. I heated this up so it'll be pourable. I just added a nice good amount. I didn't measure it or nothing. A shot of olive oil, more than a shot, okay? Add your garlic raw so it can have that flavor. And then, of course, your seasoning. Then, once you do that, pour it in your blend set. Now, that should be enough, hopefully, for most of the week. But it's really easy. So, if you need to make some more, boom, boom. I forgot to add the nutritional yeast. So, I'm going to go ahead and put it in the mix. And simply blend. Turn it on first. And then blend. Okay. Now you got your dressing on deck. Now, once it's done blending, find your favorite container and pour it up in there. And the great thing about this with using the nuts is it's with the seeds rather, it's gonna thicken as it cools. So it's gonna look really liquidy for now, but tomorrow when you add it on your salad, it'll be all set and ready to use. Okay, and that's how let's say tastes like the bomb. Now, if you really like that nutty flavor, you could also use this with either sesame seed oil, or you could use this. You could use sunflower oil, but I wanted the olive oil for the health benefits, and also because I like the flavor in my dressing. And that's how you make your dressing. We're going to move on to the cheese. Now we're moving on to the cheese. So, what makes this similar to the other one is the cashews and almond milk. So let me show you the mix. Okay, in this mix, it is a bunch of garlic cloves, carrots for the color, cashews in big quarter chunks of 1.5 onions. And I love garlic, so there's probably about 7 to 8 garlic cloves in there. What I did with this mix and why it looks this way, if you watch my mac and cheese video, you will see the cooking process in that video. But what I do is I put this in a small saucepan like so, and I cover it right to about I put enough milk to just cover it, okay? And then you cook it slowly while you're doing other things. But if you're solely focusing on this, you want to cook everything until it's nice and tender. And then what you're going to see is the milk turn into this nice orange color, and it's going to look like I'm going to pour it in here because we have to make the agar. So what I did is took the milk from this, drained it in here, a cup worth of that. Okay, and it's gonna look like so. A nice orange, some orange action, okay? Now, because we're making a solid cheese, I'm doing this as an experiment, and if it works out, I'm going to do this from now on. But I use the milk from the cheese to for the binding agent, which is the agar right here. And instead of using a cup of water, so you'll use a cup of water to a tablespoon of the agar powder, which makes a firming gelatin agent that's, from no animal body parts. So yeah, that's why we go for this option. So yeah, so I got my liquid instead of the water, but if you don't feel comfortable with that, use water or some sort of unsweetened um, almond milk or whatever milk you prefer, but we don't use animal products except for honey around here. Now we're going to take a tablespoon of this agar powder and we're going to add it to the mix and simply boil it for 1 minute, okay? Let's add our tablespoon together. This is going to be like a loose tablespoon apparently. And mix it in here and let it boil for 1 minute. So I'm going to turn my timer on. I'll be back in 1 minute. So while we got 20 seconds left, I wanted to tell you why I'm going to do it like this. The reason why I'm going to use the juices from the mix is because it is made from a seaweed. So this is 100% real, right? And I have allergies. So if you have some sort of seafood allergy, sometimes some things can irritate you. So that was a timer. But sometimes it could be irritating to your throat or cause some kind of allergy inducing situation. So I'm using that to kind of kill that out a little bit, especially while it's cooking and stuff. So hopefully this will help take some of that seafoody kind of flavor out. Now that this is boiling, we're just going to stir it and it gets really thick. I mean, it just really changes. And you want to make sure there's no clumps at the bottom. Um, Even though the blend tech will obliterate any of that bullshit, you want to just still make sure that there's no clumping at the bottom, okay? Then we're going to add the nutritional yeast. I'm going to add it to the food part so it can get up in there real good. Before we blend this all together, I want to show you the seasonings that I use for this. I use the roasted garlic and herb, Creole seasoning, spice and herb, turmeric, cayenne pepper, and although we have the garlic cloves and all that garlic stuff, garlic powder. I also added liquid smoke, which looks like this if you get the cheaper version. Now with all that added and cooked up and marinated, we add it to the blender. And then we add our agar mix before it starts getting too thick because it thickens up pretty fast, which is great because it's going to help us make that thick cheddar cheese. Now, this is just a heads up. Now, after we mix everything, we're going to put them in these bowls and set them in the refrigerator for an hour. That's how you would do it on your own. But since I'm making other things, I'm going to put it in the freezer for 30 minutes and set a timer. And then if you watch my po' boys video, which I'm going to do next, how to make vegan Cleveland po' boys, then you'll be able to see the molding and how it comes out. Okay, so make sure you check that video if you want to see it. But let's go ahead and get this blended. Now that it's blended and everything, what I'm going to do is take these bowls. I got these little bowls right here for 50 cents at Walmart. You want to take your little plastic because I was worried about not being able to store it good. So I took some cellophane, put it in here, and I'm just going to pour it right into here. So when it's done molding, I could just wrap it up and store it. Okay? So that's what you're going to do too. So look how thick and beautiful that is. It's going to make a great cheese. Just make sure it's evenly dispersed. I'm going to move on to the next bowl. And we're going to use the rest for the next bowl. And I love this cheese. I never knew I could have cheese again. So thank the Lord for other weird eaters. We have options out this mess. Okay. And this is a great recipe to try to get the dairy out of your diet. Okay. Now this is what it's going to look like in there. And so what I'm going to do, because I'm petty, should have did it at the bottom. I messed up. What you would want to do is put a look like take a paper towel, oil the bottom of the plastic, sprinkle your dill at the bottom, and then pour the molding on top so it had the herbs on top. But since I didn't do that, I'm gonna just sprinkle it on top right now. Sprinkle it up in there so it could be all fancy and cute. And I'll do the other one once I add some more. Okay, and then that's it. You made some vegan cheese. So I made this extra for my cousin because she really wanted to know how to do that. And so that's what I'm going to have for lunch this week. Rosemary crackers, the cheese I made, tomatoes and cucumbers like you would do your cheddar cheese. So I hope you liked it. I hope it turned out to be easy for you. Let me know if it works for you and leave it in the comment box below and make sure you like, subscribe if you rock with your girl. And I'm going to see you on the next video. Make sure you tune into the next video so you can see what it looks like because that's when I'll be revealing it to you. Okay?